What's going on, everybody? We are back. We took a little while off, but we are here, and we gonna play some games. No, we not. We gonna talk to y'all. Um, what's going on, Bridge? Talk to the people.
What's up, Don? What's going on with you?
I'm chilling. I am getting ready for uh, a wedding.
Are
Um,
you?
yeah, we gonna go ahead and just get married, courthouse style.
Okay.
And then my mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, present mother-in-law, my the lady who I just call the lady I love. She gifted us with a trip to Cancun,
Oh,
so we're
wow.
gonna go on. So that's why we went ahead and did the courthouse marriage, and then we're gonna go on the honeymoon a week after. So
That's
that's
dope.
what I'm doing. That's
When's the date?
so we're gonna get married on September 23rd.
Oh, that's coming up.
That's
Yes.
that's the big day. Yes. We was gonna wait and all of that, but she was like, "No, I don't want to wait." And it's so that's actually the date of our first date.
Okay.
So so that's why we chose that date. So it's time. It's time. Let's do
Good.
this again. Let's do
Congratulations.
this. Thank you. Let's do this big. Let's get big time on it.
Yeah, that's
What's been
nice.
going on with you?
Me?
I know you are owning the world and all of that stuff. So what you been doing?
Nothing. Recovering.
Recovering. That's it.
Recovering, working. About it.
People don't know when you own your own business, there is no days off. Like
Oh my goodness.
you gotta work through it. There's no days off. There's no sick pay.
Mm,
You gotta work through that shit.
People don't understand that. People think it's
Nah,
all
that
just
shit's
like
hard.
glitter and glam. Like they just do not understand.
Yeah, they think it's just, oh, I could take off when I want to. No, you can't, because if you take off, you don't get paid. Like
Exactly.
there's no money flowing if you take off.
Right.
So tonight, we talking about accountability, and I'm gonna let you start this one off. Because we're gonna talk about accountability, but we also gonna talk about being transparent with finances when you're in a relationship,
Yeah.
because that's big. And then we got the big topic afterwards. We're gonna talk about some mommy and daddy issues. Some of you ladies and some of you men, you still treating your current man or current woman based on how your mom or dad treated you. Nah, we're gonna talk about that tonight. So let's
Yeah.
talk about accountability first, though.
Accountability. So I don't know. I just feel like, all right, I'm gonna ask you first. Do you ever feel like it was like ever at a point in time in your life, did you ever feel like it was hard for you to take accountability when it came to anything? Like if you did anything wrong to anybody around you, whether it's your partner, a family member, your children, do you ever feel like it was ever a point in time that it's like you struggled to take accountability and admit like, you was wrong? Do you feel like you too prideful for that? You know?
So it wasn't hard for me to take accountability, um, just because I pride myself on being humble. However, I did find that in most of the relationships I've been in the
Mhm.
past, I would take accountability. I would have no problem with saying, I'm sorry, I messed up, let me fix this. But the other person wouldn't do that, and I felt kind of like a clown. Like I'm constantly saying I'm sorry and let's make this better, but whenever they mess up, I'm like, yo, you ain't gonna say I'm sorry.
Right.
You're not gonna and I'm sitting there like I say I'm sorry anytime I mess up, but
Right.
for them it's like, oh, they don't say I'm sorry. They do shit like, I'm just gonna cook your favorite meal. Fuck that have to do with I'm sorry.
Right.
Like you shit
Right.
on me.
Why do you
So I
think why do you feel like some people struggle with taking accountability? Because it's like we live in a world, ain't no one perfect. Everybody gonna fuck up, everybody gonna make mistakes. Um, I just, and like you said, like some people have no issue. Like I feel like I feel like some people are just so stuck in like, no, what I say is right. I didn't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation may be. But it's like sometimes you are wrong, you know. So like, why do you think some people struggle with taking accountability when they do something wrong? Like they're
So
flawless.
there's a couple of reasons for that. Um, most of it is upbringing, though. It's definitely nurture, and for some men, they feel like if I sit there and constantly say I'm sorry, or if I constantly apologize, it's showing like a weakness.
Okay.
And for women, a lot of a lot of women these days that are growing up have learned from their mom or their grandmom
Mhm.
that, oh, you don't show that, like you don't show that type of side, that side of you. You stand on whatever you did, and you just that's what you did.
Yeah.
And I think it's our grandparents. Everybody always told you, if you do something wrong, say I'm sorry.
Right.
But over time, I think that's just gone by the wayside.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they just can't say, like, they can't bring themselves to say I'm sorry, or because to them saying I'm sorry means I did something wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. Like me personally, I feel like I can say like it's been times, and it's not even like just relationship wise. It could be in a friendship. Like I remember one time I was a little lit. Me and my homegirl was like having a little debate about something, and I kind of like I did raise my voice at her, um, and I feel like she did get upset, you know. And the next day, those was not my intentions to make her upset, you know. I just feel like we was both a little lit. Um, both of us was talking, neither was listening. But I made sure the next day, the first thing I did was apologize for yelling at her, you know, because I seen that it made her upset, and those was not my intentions, you know. Um, so I don't know. I just feel like when I do something wrong, um, I don't mind apologizing, but one thing I have really observed is that like a lot of adults really do struggle with that, you know, and it's crazy to me. Like I have a 19-year-old niece, and like, you know, one time me and her very close, you know, one time she got really disrespectful, like very disrespectful, where I'm like, you know, some of these kids, like they didn't grow up how we did. Like they, you know, some of these kids don't really know better to not disrespect their elders and stuff like that. But she disrespected me. We didn't talk for a few months. But I will never forget how she came back like maybe 2, 3 months down the line and straight text me and was like, Auntie, I just want to apologize and say that I'm sorry for how I talked to you. It was disrespectful. And neither one of her parents told her to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciated the fact that a teenager could sit there and, you know, reflect on what she did and feel in her heart that it was like, you know, I need to apologize, you know. And I told her that too. I was like, a lot of adults cannot do what you do. So I commend you, you know. Um, but I just don't understand why some adults feel like it's hard to apologize, you know, because it's like none of us is perfect. We bound to fuck up. We bound to do something wrong to somebody, you know. And I feel like that's part of having a healthy relationship. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have ups and downs. When you have them downs and you know you do somebody wrong or talk to somebody wrong, you apologize for it. And the person who, you know, you're asking for forgiveness, they either accept it or they don't. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's a part of being an adult, you know, is taking accountability.
It's and give me 1 second, because I have the freaking the ticker from last week.
No, you fine. Nicole said it's hard for me to take accountability for lashing out. I typically only lash out after I've taken something over and over, but like if I make a mistake, I have no issues. I feel the same way, honestly. Like I feel like if somebody is blatantly disrespecting me, at that point I'm not gonna have any respect for you. So anything that come out my mouth, I'm standing on that. But if I did something unintentionally and you didn't do anything to me, I'm definitely going to apologize for that.
It's I think it's so for especially for teenagers these days, because a lot of the parents that are raising these teenagers, they weren't too long ago teenagers themselves. They'll tell them, say sorry,
Yeah.
right? If you do something wrong, say sorry. So one thing that I can remember in some of the relationships that I've been in, and it used to irritate the hell out of me. I would say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry I upset you. And the woman would say something that at the time irritated me, but now that I'm older, it seems more profound.
Hmm.
They would say, "What are you sorry for?" And it was a lot of times that I was sitting there go, "I'm sorry for whatever I did that upset you." But if you don't know what you did,
Right.
then your apology is superficial. Like
Right.
you're basically saying, "I'm sorry" to end the argument.
Right. And you bound
It,
to it possibly happen again because you really
ex-
don't know why you're apologizing.
exactly. If you
Yeah.
don't know what you did, then you're bound to do it again.
Yeah.
And I promise you, during that time, I'd be like, yo, like, come on, I'm saying I'm sorry. What the fuck? Like, let me live. I'm saying
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The argument's over. I said I'm sorry. But when they would say that to me, I would sit there and go, okay, well, I'm sorry for pissing you off. Like, I'm sorry because I upset you.
Yeah.
But it's more to it than that. When you say I'm sorry to somebody, understanding what you did to them,
Yeah.
because honestly, there are times when you do something to somebody and you have no knowledge of what you did to upset them.
Yeah.
But if you just say I'm sorry and they let that be the thing, then the next time you do it, you're not going to realize you're doing it again.
Right.
Um, and in relationships, that is very prevalent. There are guys who just look for, can a woman just apologize? Yeah, but if she don't realize what she's apologizing for,
Yeah.
like what has been fixed. Um, so like it's this topic is crazy, but it's so necessary, and it's probably necessary for a lot of people to heal in their relationships because they've been going back and forth saying either saying I'm sorry or just okay, well, let me give him head. I know he likes to get head,
Right.
and if I give him head, he feel like that's my apology to him.
Right.
But nothing's been resolved.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when you're in the dating phase, like that is huge. Because when you're dating somebody, it's easy for you to just wipe your hands. I'm done.
Right.
And if you just allow somebody to just say, "Yo, you know what? I'm sorry," but what are you sorry? What are you really sorry for?
Yeah. And I also feel like if you did something specific, um, make sure your actions follow behind your apology.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't just say sorry and then it go on one ear and out the other and you still just doing the same thing or whatever it is. Um, but I also believe in if you accept someone's apology, you should also not be able to you should not be able to throw that in their face if someone apologizes to you.
Mm.
It's time to move on. That's what I'm saying. Like if someone apologize, if they're adult enough to say, I'm sorry, I did this, I see how it hurt you, whatever the case may be, and then you choose to forgive them because you don't have to forgive them. Me personally, I don't want to hold no grudges. So I feel like it, and a lot of people have a hard time taking accountability and apologizing. So I feel like if somebody comes to me and really apologizes, I'm gonna accept their apology if I truly feel like it's genuine, But at that point, I
Mhm.
have to move on and leave it in the past. I'm not gonna sit here and bring up the situation. Well, when you did this, that, and the third, because you apologized for it, and at that point, I already forgave you for it. So it's not right to keep throwing something in someone's face when you technically supposedly forgive them for what they did.
And where that comes from is I forgive, but I don't forget.
Yeah.
I forgive, but I don't forget, and that
Yeah.
is like especially in the social media age, that is
Hmm.
like a huge thing. I
Yeah.
forgive, but I don't forget. Well, if you can forgive but not forget, forgive and move on because you'll
Yeah.
never let that person live that down.
Yeah.
And it's ironic, I think, coming coming from a woman's standpoint, that you said that because women will always forgive, but they will never forget. They
I
will
can
forgive the shit out of
look.
you, but they will never forget.
I can honestly say, because we talked about this before, like in a past relationship, like if a man cheated on me or something, I'm definitely throwing that shit in your face. But this the thing, the man ain't never admit to his wrongs. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's the thing. Like I feel like I can respect men that are honest, whether it's gonna hurt me or not. Cause at that point, I really respect you as a man. When I feel like when men don't act like men, when you operate in your ego and you can't apologize, then I have no respect for you. Every word, if I feel like you disrespecting me, every disrespectful word gonna come out my mouth. Cause at that point, you're not acting like a man. Regardless if you feel like you could lose me or whatever, I feel like you should be men enough to tell me the truth, apologize, and then at that point, then I shouldn't be thrown it in your face. But I could say in the past, if I ever threw some shit in the nigga face, well, you cheated with this bitch, da 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 da. That's because he never admitted to it. He never admitted to it. I could have seen the damn text message with my own fucking eyes, and he's still like, "What you talking about? That ain't me. Somebody was using my phone, like dumb shit." At that point, it's like I don't respect you because you're not admitting to it. You're not taking accountability, and you damn sure ain't apologizing if you try to act like you ain't even do the shit. But I definitely feel like if somebody's mature enough to apologize for something, I'm willing to move past it. And I'll respect people more, honestly. Like we grown. And honestly, I really challenge people to, regardless if you feel like it's your pride, put that shit to the side. If you do somebody wrong, if you talk to somebody wrong, apologize. Like, what the hell are you going to lose from apologizing? You know,
Right, exactly.
I feel
And
like
not
if somebody do you wrong, right, you expect
hmm
people to apologize.
damn
Like
sure
when
do.
somebody do you so wrong, you like, no, they need to apologize to me. You have to be willing as an adult to do the same in return when you do people wrong. You can't just sit here and act like, oh, I'm perfect.
And not only that, but when you like we said, when you say sorry, what are you saying sorry for? Especially if you say sorry for cheating. Are you sorry that you got caught,
Mm-hmm.
or are you sorry for being weak?
Right.
Like, and anybody who's watched the show, check previous episodes if you haven't. I've been a cheater, and I've gotten caught cheating. And when I would say I'm sorry, the grown me now knows that I was just basically saying I'm sorry that you caught me. I
Yeah.
wasn't sorry for cheating. When somebody wrongs you, especially when it comes to relationships, if somebody steps out on you, if they say I'm sorry, probe a little more. Like, what are you sorry for? Like, are you sorry
Mm-hmm.
that I caught you cheating? Are you sorry that you cheated? Are you sorry that our relationship didn't have everything that you needed to prevent you from cheating? Like, it's a bigger picture than, oh, I cheated, I'm sorry, we good, okay, move on.
Right.
Because that person's gonna cheat again.
Yeah.
Um, The same thing with, unfortunately, it follows the same line with domestic abuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he slaps the shit out of you and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry," are you sorry that you slapped me, or are you sorry that something in you became so enraged that that was your first reaction?
Yeah.
Depending on what they can basically establish their apology for, determines whether or not it's ever going to happen again.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
and that's the thing. Like, you can forgive someone, but that doesn't mean you have to still be around them. That's
hmm,
totally up to you in the situation.
yeah, he's sorry until the next hit
Yeah.
or the next cheat, or he's sorry because he just wiped out your bank account, hanging out with the boys. He's just sorry until he wipes out the bank account again.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
which, let's take accountability to another step: financial transparency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody nowadays, and when I did a poll on this, from one of our previous shows about having a joint bank account or having individual bank accounts, a lot of people was like, "Oh, individual bank accounts for
Mm-hmm.
sure." But that's because those people can't have, they don't have transparency when it comes to their finances. They're thinking, my problems are my problems,
Mm-hmm.
your problems are your problems. We pay the bills, and as long as those two problems don't prevent us from paying the bills, it's cool. But that's not the way a relationship works.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, my problems are your problems. Your problems are my problems. When
Yeah.
you're when you're dating somebody, that's a key question. And guys are thinking, oh, if she asks about my credit score, she's about her money. No, she's about her money.
Yeah. I
What's
you
your
you
credit score looking like?
yeah, and you want to know that the person that you're choosing is equally as responsible as you are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that's not going to make you feel secure in your relationship if y'all not on the same page. You
Exactly.
can't have one person that's irresponsible with finances and another person that's overly responsible. You always going to have someone like weighing you down, where y'all never going to together, jointly go up, so I feel like it's really important in a relationship.
Like, if you are with somebody and you plan on building with them and moving up to another level, because there's levels to this shit. There's
Hmm.
definitely levels. And some people, that you meet and you deal with, they're cool for that level,
Yeah.
but they're not always cool for where you want to go in life.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when you start to take those steps on your next level, a good question is, yo, where's your credit score at, and how can we
Yeah.
get your credit score to where we can start moving up?
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with educating people because everyone don't have that education. Everyone is not educated on finances, credit, how to use a credit card, um, loans and all, like paying the principal and trying to pay off loans and stuff quickly. Everyone isn't educated. It's not impossible to teach someone, but they do have to be on the same page of wanting to learn and be where you're at.
Like, it took me a long time, longer than it should have, but because I was hard headed when my parents was trying to talk to me about finances, I was like, I know, I know about finances. You make the money, you spend the money. That's it. It's finances, right?
Yeah.
When I went away to school, and everybody and their mama was giving me a credit card, I was like, spend, 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 spend. When those
Yeah.
bills started coming in, I was like, oh, they expect me to pay this back? Like, I didn't have the money at the time.
Mhm.
So I was just like, I was literally renting. I was getting rental car. I didn't have a car at the time. I
Mhm.
would rent a car for a week at a time. And not realizing that when you spend money on a credit card,
Mhm.
it doesn't hit automatically. It
Yeah.
takes some time. So you can basically spend money throughout the month on a credit card, and by the end of the month, you've spent more than your credit limit.
Right.
So during that time, I was like, yo, shit, I'm balling. And when the bill started coming in, I was like, shit, I can't pay that. I couldn't pay it when I rented the car. I
Yeah.
couldn't pay it when I went shopping at the store.
Mhm.
It's it took so many years for me to actually get that straightened out, but I've always been honest with women, like, yo, these are the mistakes that I made
Yeah.
when I was younger. So you and I getting together, understand, like, I'm still fixing those mistakes,
Yeah.
and you know, I understand as a man that me fixing my mistakes of the past can't take away from the money I got to put into the house in the future.
Yeah.
So I would basically myself be struggling because I'm taking care of my mistakes of the past, but also trying to take care of the house of the current.
Right.
And what I didn't realize was, okay, so I'm taking care of the house of the current, I'm taking care of mistakes of the past, and at the end of the day, I don't have any money.
Yeah.
But I was like, as long as I'm taking care of the house of the current, mistakes of the
Mhm.
past, I'm good. But no, you still gotta have gas. You
Right.
still gotta have money to spend on. So if you don't have it, that means you gotta lean on your significant other to have it.
Right.
Right. And why did my headset just there we go. And it's just like what a lot of people don't understand is, yeah, okay, so oh, if I made mistakes before, I'm not bringing that into a relationship, but you are.
Yeah.
Like, you're bringing every bit of the your problems from the past into your current relationship.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that conversation, that open conversation
Yeah.
about finances, eventually, especially for guys dealing with women, the woman is going to be eventually turned off by the fact that we're not talking about money, but you keep asking me for money.
Yeah.
We're not talking about money, but you keep needing gas for your car.
Yeah.
Or we're not talking about money, but your car got repossessed. If you have the open conversation of, yo, this is my problems, this is my problems from the past, and this is what I can afford now.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is
I agree. I feel like if you're in a relationship and number one, like I feel like this whole conversation tonight is about like taking accountability. Like,
mm-hmm.
we taking accountability when we do people wrong. We taking accountability when we fuck up in our own lives, whether that's getting in some type of debt. That's the first thing that you could do with being real with yourself is like, you know what? I fucked up. Like, I did all this wrong. I got some debt. I don't believe there's one person on this earth that don't have any type of debt. Someone has some
Right.
type of debt. You have a credit card, you have a car loan, a mortgage loan, you have some type of debt, you know. But the biggest thing is being real with yourself and like, how am I gonna tackle this? Now if
Right.
you in a relationship and you with somebody that you feel like, okay, this is for life, and your partner loves you, they will strategize with you on how we going to take care of what's right now and help you get out of that financial burden from the past. It's this girl that I know. She's a client of mine, and she met this guy, and within like a year they got engaged. She travels a lot, so she had a lot of debt, like I guess on her credit cards and stuff. And the first thing he did, he like, I don't know if she moved in with him or she still had her own place, but basically because he was in such a good financial position, um, He like, I'm gonna pay your rent, I'm gonna pay your bills, and I want you to take all of your money and to pay off your credit cards. She was able to get herself out of debt, and that's because he loves her. He actually, he proposed to her in like less than a year, so he already seen like, this is my wife. He didn't look down upon her just because she did have some credit card debt. He like, I love her. She's a good person. She honestly had a good job. She was just having fun. So he basically was willing to teach her like financial, responsibility, and was like, I'm gonna take care of this so you don't gotta stress about your current bills. You're gonna get out of debt. And then boom, now they're married. You know what I'm saying? And that was his first goal. Like, like, all right, you have some debt, that's cool. We're gonna take care of that. So I feel like if you have a good partner, and you love them, you wouldn't let them just, you're not going to let your partner struggle, especially if you know that it's genuine love. I think, don't get me wrong, in a partnership, financial is very important, but the best things in life is free. When you have
Right.
somebody that love you and respect you and care about you and your well-being, when you sick, they there for you. That is the best things in life. So you have to cherish that. I don't feel like people should worship money, but money does revolve around the world. Um, so I feel like if you love your partner, you would allow them to get up so that y'all ain't struggling, or you're not watching your partner struggle. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, you can't. And I know, I think we've touched on this on quite a few shows, but you can't build on sand.
Yeah.
Like, if the person that if you find somebody that you want to be with, okay, so they check all of the boxes for you, but there's a part of their life that they struggle with from the past, or there's a part of their life that they struggle with currently. If you sit down with them and everybody has an honest conversation
Yeah.
about what they're going through or what they've been through, like, you can fix the problem and build forward.
Right.
Um, and when it comes to guys are very prideful, and there's been a time when I've been real prideful. I keep it to myself, like, you know what I'm saying. I'll just struggle in silence, and I'll be sitting there spending money I don't have,
Yeah.
because I want to make sure that all my previous bills are taken care of, and I'm taking care of the one I'm with right now, but I'm
Yeah.
also digging myself into a new hole.
Right.
So
You robbing Peter to pay Paul.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So having those conversations where it says, like the guy that you were talking about, like that's a real dude. Like,
Yeah.
because if she doesn't get out that hole and they get married, they're in that hole together,
Right.
whether he wants to be or not.
Yeah.
I dealt with a woman one time, and when we and her got together, she had like a department store credit card that was maxed out, and we were taking care of the current bills together, and I was like, well, I got some extra money. Let's put it towards that card. And she like stopped me and was like, well, no, because when I had that card, I spent it on my ex. And I'm like, does that shit matter now?
Yeah.
Like, does any of that? I don't give a damn where the money was spent at. It was spent. It's on the credit card. We gotta get it taken care of.
Yeah.
And she was just sitting there like looking at me like dumbfounded, like, so you're gonna pay back a credit card that I used to spend on somebody else? And my thought process was, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, it doesn't matter who spent it, where it was spent at. Let's get it fixed. But on the flip side of that, when I was taking care of my bills from the past, it was all on me.
Yeah.
And I look back now as a grown up, because in your 20s you're not grown. You're an
Yeah.
adult, but you're not grown.
Yeah.
As an adult now, like, I'm looking back, going, well, that's somebody you should have cut off from the beginning, because, like, you were making their debt your debt, but your debt was still your debt.
Right.
So it ladies and gentlemen, like when you're when you're in a dating phase with somebody, these are the conversations you gotta have. Like you just gotta absolutely just open up, put your cards on the table. This is the mistakes that I've made. Because if there's any possibility of moving forward, you have to talk to one another.
Right.
And your conversations can't be about, oh, so what's your favorite color? Who gives a shit if y'all broke? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, who cares what your favorite color is? Oh, my favorite food is steak, but I can't afford it because I'm broke as a motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
have real conversations with people.
Yeah.
Real conversations, though. Let's talk about a real conversation. It's the topic of the show tonight.
Yes.
Mommy and daddy issues.
Yes.
Real conversations. Real shit that you drag into a relationship.
Mhm.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Um, what have you have had the experience with guys having mommy issues, or even guys having daddy issues?
Yeah. Um definitely I can definitely say I've dated some men that have had mommy issues. And oddly enough, their mothers wasn't in their lives. So they definitely I don't feel like they really respect women. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you don't respect the woman that brought you in this world, then it's kind of hard for you to respect any woman you come across, you know.
Right.
Other than possibly your daughter or something. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, and I feel like another thing is that like I definitely feel like more people is going to therapy, but I feel like black men that either haven't had their mother or their father in their lives, I feel like it's definitely key for especially your mother, because they always say like um mama's boys and daddy's little girls. You know what I'm saying? So if
Mm-hmm.
a male has not had their mother around and you didn't get that nurturing love, even if you got it from your grandmother, but you didn't get it from that person that brought you in that world, whether you think so or not, whether you try to bury it and be like, "Oh, I don't care," it do affect you. It does affect how
Absolutely.
you treat, the opposite sex. Um and I feel like, it's very important to, go to therapy and realize that everybody is not meant to every woman, if you got mommy issues, every woman that come in your life is not coming in your life to hurt you. Um, I'll even speak on myself. Like I grew up, my father was not really around. Um I truly don't feel like every man that I meet, that I come across is like, oh, you're gonna hurt me. I truly give men the benefit of the doubt. Um, but I feel like, especially I feel like in my generation, you know what I'm saying? I'm 33. I feel like my generation, it was like, some of our parents, was on drugs, using drugs, selling drugs. Some of them. Not saying
Mm-hmm.
everybody, but it's quite a few people. Quite a few people in my generation that grew up with either one of their parents not around or both of their parents not around.
Right.
Um, and honestly, it's like it's fucked up. It's a fucked up ass situation, but we can't go around putting that hurt onto people or having lack of respect for people. I truly believe you got to treat people how you want to be treated.
Right.
Um, and I mean, even though my father wasn't around, I'm not going to say like I don't respect him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say I don't respect him at all. I definitely respect men, period. Like if I come in contact with a man and he respects me as a woman and he's nice to me, he's not talking to me crazy, I'm going to in return respect you back. But if a man has no respect for a woman, then at that point, like I said earlier, I don't respect you as a man. If you
Right.
if you feel like you could talk to women crazy or women have no right to to speak because you just feel like, oh, y'all not important. I don't know. I feel like, and I'm gonna speak because I'm a woman, but I feel like men that have mommy issues, that's like one of the biggest turnoffs. Like and I mean, I'm not gonna say how because if your mom wasn't around, okay, there's a void there, but I just can't understand how can you not have the utmost respect for women? Even if it's not your mother, you don't see what women are capable. They bring life into this world. Like how can you not respect women? You know, not only do women bring life into this world, but they work just as hard. We take on a lot, just to have equal rights as men. I just don't see how you don't have respect for women and vice versa. Like, just like I said, my father wasn't around, but I still respect men. I still love men. I still love black men. Regardless of how many times a black man has hurt me, I still love y'all. Like on some real shit. Um, but I feel like people gotta deal with those mommy and daddy issues. They gotta go to therapy and we got to stop treating each other like we're each other's enemy and start loving each other again. Or we
Right.
gonna keep continuing the cycle.
So the crazy thing, or the double-edged sword to the mommy daddy issue,
Mm,
is so for a woman to deal with a man that has mommy issues, it's annoying
yeah,
because they have zero respect for the woman. For a man to deal with a woman that has daddy issues, and I want all men to stop doing this shit. They use that shit as a way that they can control.
yeah,
So if a woman has daddy issues, it's like, oh, I can treat her any old kind of way because I'm still better than her dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
still here, and they instead of them trying to fix the problem or help the woman get to the point where she can fix the problem, either with counseling, group therapy, or whatever, they sit there and go, well, no, I can control her
yeah.
because you know what I'm saying, she got daddy issues, you know what I'm saying, she just needs somebody to call daddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I dealt with a woman like that,
Okay.
and it was annoying to me that I was basically the surrogate for her father.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't raise my kids, you know what I'm saying, I'm not
Yeah.
trying to raise nobody else's, but God, there are guys out there, and I will take it a step further and say weak guys out there who use that as a controlling mechanism.
Yeah.
Um, and women don't do like women are the exact opposite. Women are like, if you can't respect your mom, then how can you respect me? And I feel that wholeheartedly. Like
Yeah.
any dude that cannot respect the woman who gave birth to him,
Yeah.
he's not gonna respect any other woman on this planet.
Yeah.
But and yes, there are a lot more women who have to deal with daddy issues than men who have to deal with mommy issues.
Yeah.
For a guy with mommy issues, is usually she ain't get you off the tit soon enough. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
you've been made weak because your mother's been placating to you and basically making it like you her boyfriend and she gotta make sure that you good all the time. That's
Yeah.
mommy issues for a man. But
Yeah.
so mommy issues for a man makes a man weak, whereas daddy issues for a woman is he was absent, and now she's looking and searching for somebody to fill that void of the daddy that I didn't have.
Yeah.
I need somebody to tell me when to shut up, when to sit down, and when to move.
Yeah, that too. And I feel like also like attention from a male, period. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like some type of validation from a male, like, I'm loved, stuff like that. Um, but I don't know.
Like it's it's an emptiness. for women. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a I know somebody was supposed to be there the whole time to guide me,
Mhm.
but they weren't there. So now I need somebody to basically accept me
Right.
as their own.
Yeah.
And any guy that comes along, and most women won't see this from the inside. Usually it's their friends that'll see it from the outside looking in and say, well, now he's being controlling, like he's taking
Mhm.
too much of a control on your life.
Yeah.
Do I think that each person in your when you're in a relationship, each of you should have a certain level of control on each other? Absolutely, because that control prevents you from doing things that might hurt you or hurt the family.
Right.
But if that man is your total source of what I should be doing right or wrong, then you do need to seek some type of counseling. Like, what am I doing, or what am I exhibiting that allows these guys to come into my life and think that I need them to be my father?
Yeah.
Um, and in this day and age, unfortunately, it's it's common because
Mhm.
the men are not staying around. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Most men pay child support because of a sense of obligation. Like, oh, if I don't pay child support, I'm going to go to jail, so I'm gonna pay child support. But I'm not going to be there for my child.
Yeah.
Being there financially is your obligation. Being there in their life, that distinguishes you from being a sperm donor to being a father.
Right.
Um, and even I'm not gonna beat up on the guys tonight. Fuck that shit. I'm not. But I will tell some of these women who are raising young men, telling that young man that he does not need a father is the biggest detriment that you will ever bring to your son's life.
Yeah.
Period. Yes, he does need a father or a father figure.
Right.
And if you can't find somebody that you can be in a relationship with that's gonna be a father figure to them, take them motherfuckers to the boys club.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's my also my point of like people feeling like okay, people who either their mother or their father wasn't in their life, you know, the reason why you can't just cancel out all men or all women, you know, and feel like they gonna hurt you because it's somebody in your life that has done right by you. You know, like some
Right.
people whose mother wasn't around, but your grandmother was there for you. Okay, your mother
Right.
wasn't around, that was her. And it might have been things that your mother went through that you have no idea of. That's why it led her down the path that it did. You know what I'm saying? But if the cycle don't stop with you, like okay, yeah, your mother wasn't around, you got hurt by it, but now you just a
Mm-hmm.
hurt man hurting women, and who knows what you could cause women to go through. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like it's still the
Right.
cycle still continuing, you know, and it's like sometimes like, yeah, I seen this video and it was like people gotta give their parents grace. Even if your parents didn't do right by you, they brought you into this world and you would not be here if it was not for your parents. They gave you life. You know what I'm saying? So regardless, appreciate that. But I feel like you can't go around disrespecting women or men, every person that you come in contact with, just because your mother or your father hurt you, because you're going to end up pushing the person that God sent to you out of your life. You know,
Yep.
um, everyone is not meant to hurt you. God literally put somebody on this earth to love you and care for you the way that you always desire to, you know, so you have to let that hurt go, heal from it, so you're willing to accept when that good thing does come in your life. You know, everyone is not meant to hurt you, you know. Um And just like you said, like with the mentor and stuff, that's why even though my father wasn't in my life, I can't even sit here and be like, oh, I don't respect my father at all. Because honestly, I live by the Bible. It says honor your mother and your father. So that's what I'm gonna do, regardless of how I feel like they did me wrong. I'm still going to love them. I still am not going to hate them, you know? And I will never sit here and be like, oh, I don't respect men, period. I do respect men because it was so many men that came in my life as father figures. And that's why I know there are good men out here. And I will
Right.
respect men. Until a man gives me a reason to not respect you, I will respect men, you know, because I know there are real stand up men out here, you know? So I feel like people just, and even though I do respect men, the fact that my father wasn't right, I still know that I still need to go to therapy for that, which I'm currently doing, you know. Um, but it's like you can't take that pain onto people, you know. Cause like I said, you gonna push somebody real good out your life, you know. So it's sad and unfortunate when you have a mother or father that wasn't in your life, you know. And some people lost their mother and their father by default. Like they might have passed away at a real young age, you know. So I just feel like, you know, be willing, regardless if you have a void in your life, be willing to accept the love that you do receive from people. Just like everyone got people in your family, but you gonna be like, it's this one cousin, I don't fuck with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or this one aunt or uncle, I don't really rock with them. Sometimes you have to be willing to accept that love from the outside source. You know, the right people will come
Hmm.
into your life, but you having a fucked up mentality is not gonna keep the right people in your life. You gonna push them away, you know.
It's
So
so easy for us in our culture to say, I'm strong enough that I don't need anybody.
yeah,
And that comes from the absence in the household.
yeah,
And when we sit there and go, well, you know what? When ladies go, I'm through with him. I don't need him for anything. But you had a child by him, then
yeah,
you do need him for something
yeah,
because there's a purpose for a man and a woman to come together and have a child because each each parent brings something to that child that's important for them to grow and prosper. Like I'll tell like when I start dealing with a woman and I'm getting serious, I have the conversation with them. Like my mom taught me how to appreciate the soft side of life, and my dad taught me how to be hard.
yeah.
But the fact that I had both sides of that coin,
Hmm.
I know how to say I'm sorry and still be a man when I'm doing it.
Yeah,
So when we are raising our children and we sit there and go, well, I don't need such and such, or you know what, I'm just gonna throw money at the problem. I don't have to be there as long as I'm throwing money. As long as they're taken care of, I don't need no. That child needs both parents.
yep,
And if you so happen, ladies, if you so happen to have gotten pregnant by ain't shit nigga, it happens. And if that dude disappears, it doesn't have to be somebody that you're having a relationship with, but make sure to get your child paired up with a male with some strong values.
right,
Because you, ladies, you cannot teach a young boy how to be a man. You can not. I don't give a damn how hard you grew up, how strong you were. Your father wasn't there, so your mother had to be the mother and the father.
yep,
Yeah, for the woman, that shit might have worked. But for your son, that shit's not gonna work. It
yeah.
will not fly right. You know what I'm saying? You cannot teach your son how to be a man.
And honestly, when you say that though, you speaking facts. But even for the women, it don't work neither because some of these women, I can even speak for myself. I feel like it's to a point where, you know, me not having a father around, I was raised to be a little too independent. where it's like when I do
Mm.
need help, I don't want to ask. I'm one of the women that I'm not asking a man for nothing, even if I'm struggling.
Mm.
You know, where you got some women that like, can I get $40? Can I get my nails done? I won't ask the man for shit, even if I needed it. You know, so I feel like it does affect, young women that grow up without a father, because it can make you a little too independent, and that might scare a man off too. The fact that it's like, I'm trying to be the man and you won't let me be the man because you trying to act like you so independent,
Preach.
I mean,
Preach.
that's me. I can say that. I know that. I know that that's a problem with me. Um, have an issue. I really have an issue letting anyone do anything for me. You know, but it does affect both. And you absolutely right.
Yo, you are preaching. I
Yeah,
know normally I'm on this show preaching, but tonight's your night. Yo, you preaching tonight.
yeah,
Ladies, definitely. So, the, ladies should be independent. I don't want anybody in this world to be codependent upon anybody.
right.
But learn the difference between being codependent and being accepting.
Yeah,
If somebody's in your life and they're stepping in as a man and everything about them says, yo, that they are the person to fill this position. You can't be who you was when you was by yourself.
yeah,
Like it just will not work.
yeah,
Because the first thing that man is gonna do is say, well, if you don't need me, because men have a desire to be needed.
right,
You don't need me, so what the fuck am I here for?
right,
Like why am I a party to this relationship if you are doing good by yourself?
right.
Um, a really good friend of mine told me one time, he was like, he said men want women around for the things that they can't do for themselves, and women want men around for the things that they don't want to do for themselves.
Mhm.
That shit needs to be erased. All of that.
Yeah,
Like I can cook. Do I want a woman who can't cook? No, I want a woman who can still hold her own in the kitchen.
yeah.
Every woman could take out the trash on their damn own. They can do
Mhm.
this shit. It's a bag. They can take the bag to the damn trash can and drop the shit in there. But do
Uh-huh.
I want my woman to do that? Hell no. I want to be able to say, you know what? You cooked all day. I'll
Mhm.
take the trash out. I got it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We have to become more codependent upon one another.
Mhm.
So we have to basically say, you know what? I can do everything by myself. Women, ladies, y'all can do all this shit yourselves. I promise you. You can make your own motherfucking money. You can take your own trash out. You can cut your own grass.
Yeah.
But do you want to?
How
Would
no?
you prefer to have somebody that's in your corner and go, you know what? You got that, I got this.
Yeah.
I pulled into a gas station the other day and it was crazy. I sat in the car. I pulled into the gas station. I put the pump in my car and I sat down inside the car because I was filling up. I watched a young lady pull into the gas station. She got out the car, walked into the store, paid for the gas, came back and started pumping her own gas. And I wanted to say to her so bad, if you don't get that nigga out that passenger seat and
Yeah.
have him come pump your gas, it's bad enough he's sitting in the passenger seat.
Right.
Why is he not pumping your damn gas?
Okay.
It's something that you can do. Absolutely. A woman knows how to put the damn pump in her gas tank and
Yeah.
click it's elementary shit. But
Mhm.
you shouldn't have to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
My sons know if they're with their mom and she pull into the gas station, she better not pump her own gas.
Yeah.
I don't care if they got a broken leg and a broken arm. They better hop on their good foot and go pump that motherfucking gas for their mother.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
women can do all of the things. They
Yeah.
can. They have the capability to do everything that a man can do.
Yeah.
It's been proven. We about to have the first woman president. It's proven. It can
Mm,
be done.
yeah.
But should she? No.
No, not if a man is around.
And these are some things that not having men in their children's lives has basically created a false foundation of this is the way life is supposed to be.
Right.
There's young men who their father never told them that if your mother is in, if you pull into the gas station with your mother, you go pump that gas.
Right.
She may pay for it, but you go pump it.
Right.
And there's women who go, well, you know what? I pump my own gas. I pay my own bills. I cut my own grass. I bought my own damn house. And that's why they're asking questions. Well, what the fuck do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
Because I've been eating alone and I've been eating real well by my damn self. What do you bring to the table? And guys are going, oh, she money hungry. Nah, she hungry for a real man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's not money
Yeah.
hungry, but she want to know what are you gonna bring into my life that's gonna enrich this shit?
Okay.
Because the common term, and I guess this probably came about during my era. I could do bad by myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what women are saying. That have been saying at least since I was a kid. I
Yeah.
could do bad all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody ever said, yo, we can do good together.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? They would
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I could do bad all by myself," but nobody's saying, "Yo, we can fucking conquer the world together."
Okay.
And people look at like Jay Z and Beyonce going, "Oh, they not really together, but they together."
Mm-hmm.
Because what they did was create $1 billion fucking empire
Facts.
together.
Facts.
Even if they ain't had sex since the last kid. So fucking what?
Yeah.
They building a fucking empire together.
Yeah.
They both worth a fucking $1 billion a piece.
Yep.
So yeah, everybody, we can all do bad by ourselves. But what can we accomplish when we find somebody that we can rely on and we can build with?
Yeah.
Like it's I have been looking at it like this for years, and even when I thought I found the person who I could build with for the rest of my life, I realized that it was never her goal for us to build together for the rest of our lives. It was her goal to do as little as possible
Mm-hmm.
and allow me to start putting in the bricks. But now that when you finally find somebody that you're sitting there going, yo, she sees this the same way I do, or he sees this the same way I do.
Yeah.
He sees the fact that yes, she can do all this shit by themselves, but present yourself in a way that she don't have to be so independent.
Yep.
I could get on a soapbox, and you can always get me on a soapbox, and I be sitting there, and I be sitting there, down in the guys, and I be getting on that soapbox, but this guy that's coming into women's lives. Women don't need shit no more.
Yeah.
They don't need you.
Yeah.
If you find a woman that wants you more than she needs you, that's a winner. That's a
Facts.
fucking win. That's
Facts.
a that's a fucking win because I've dealt with women that need me, and I promise you, once that need is gone, so the fuck are you. Like
Yeah.
you gone as quick as that need is.
Mm-hmm.
When you find somebody that wants you, they gonna want you for life.
Right. Absolutely.
Now I'm off my damn soapbox. That's it. Bridget loves putting me on this soapbox. She knows how to strike that chord, and
I'm
but
sorry.
it's okay. Women, it's okay to be independent. It is. It really
Yeah,
is.
but we want men. We do want men. You know.
And you are probably only the second woman that I ever heard actually say
Yeah. I want me a man. A real one though. He got he gotta be a real one.
that.
For real. For real. But I
our
feel
our
like I
last
can't be the I can't I feel like I can't fully be the woman that I wanna be because I don't have a man. But I definitely want a man, for sure.
well our last guest on the show. All I know is Sunday got three more hustles
Oh,
in
Lord.
in the last 2 weeks because he like fuck that. I'm about to win this one. but it's but it's those guys that get passed over because they're not the typical every like what every woman is saying, yo, that's my guy. Like that nigga, don't say this nigga's out there that is basically doing legal hustles every single day, and they just trying to find ways to rub two nickels together.
Yeah. Like he's a I'm not saying like he's a good guy. But and it's not even just about the hustle. It's like and it's not even like I'm not talking about him, but it's like what I need in my life. I need a certain level of maturity, you know.
Mm, mm.
And at this point, I can't teach nobody that. I'm too old. I'm not being nobody's mother. I feel like I'm at an age where it's like a man has to be a certain level of mature for me to really fuck with it. Or even entertain it.
And the crazy thing is the dating pool is so horrible right now,
Yeah.
and I put my toe in the dating pool when my last marriage was ending. I was dipping my toe in there, and I was like, oh, this water is filthy. Um, and there's guys that's like, you know what? I don't want the 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 average everyday fuck up. I want somebody that I can get with. And guys are very visual. So guys will sit there and look at a chick and will say, "Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. She must have everything together." And that doesn't mean she got everything together. Look,
Yeah.
dig deeper. Dig
Right.
deeper into her because
Right.
most of the time you'll find that that beauty is just a facade. And if you dig deeper, you'll find out that she is 10 times worse than the ugliest chick you've ever dealt with.
Yep. Absolutely.
So guys right now that guys that want a relationship because a lot of guys have given up on the relationship thing. They just want to party and bullshit, have sex, and that's it. But the guys that are the guys that actually want a relationship, they want somebody that is everything that they've never had.
Mhm.
Women are looking for nigga, can you be a step above everything I fucking had before? Like, can
For
you
real.
just be a step up? You know what I'm saying? Like, guys are looking for, oh my god, like she can cook, she can clean, like she can hold down the household, everything. Women are like, yo, can you have more than a pulse? Like,
Right.
can you just be more than breathing?
Right.
And guys are looking at that going, oh my gosh, she wants so much. No, motherfucker, she wants what every human being would want. She
Exactly.
wants a grown up.
Yeah.
Um, so and I think we definitely need to, and we might even pull him back on because um he was open to having open conversations. So I think we need to pull him on and just let's start talking about the conversation between men growing up, men
Mhm.
being grown the fuck up.
Yeah.
Being grown don't mean you out your parents' house.
Mhm.
Cause you could be out your parents' house and struggling every fucking day.
Yeah,
You could be out your parents' house, but the most important thing to you all day is playing a video game.
exactly. Or your mentality, just much maturity wise, it still can be immature.
So I'm ask my producer to just jot this down because this might be our next damn show.
Yeah,
Um, Knowing the difference between being an adult and being grown.
yeah.
Because I think a lot of women are running into adult men and not grown men,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of men are taking
Grown
advantage
boys.
of grown boys, and a lot of men are taking advantage of women who have not grown up yet. But just
Mm-hmm.
because they're over 18, that don't mean they grown.
Yeah,
And that definitely don't mean that's somebody you could build with.
right.
But in the meantime, we gonna let y'all go. However, you want to tune in for that show because we gonna be exposing a lot of y'all that think y'all grown, but y'all just an adult. I
Yeah.
got an 18-year-old. I got a son that's about to be 18 on Saturday, and that nigga still ain't grown to me.
No. He's
He's
not
an
gonna be grown
adult,
for a long time.
right? He may be an adult by law, but
Right.
he ain't grown.
Yeah.
And a lot of y'all are 30 and 40 right now,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all still ain't grow the hell up.
Yeah.
So tune in. You wrote that down? Cool. It's on the books. So that might be next show.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we're gonna get back at y'all next week. It's all love. Appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Even though none of y'all was real quiet tonight. But tune in next week. Y'all won't be quiet. I promise y'all won't be quiet on that show. Y'all
Yeah.
will not be quiet. We're gonna be talking about y'all grown ass children.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't talking about y'all's grown ass children. We talking about y'all being the grown ass children. But
Yeah.
anyway, until then, it's all love. Be easy, people. We out.
All right.